get ready to play croquet with the queen.
I'm sure to kill it in a day or two. But wouldn't it be murder to leave it behind?
Suddenly, as she said these last words out loud, the little thing grunted in reply.
Don't grunt. It's not at all the proper way of expressing yourself. If you're going to turn into a pig, my dear, I'll have nothing more to do with you, mind now.
Again the baby grunted, and Alice saw it transform into a pig before her very eyes.
Of all the rotten things.
Suit yourself. You made a dreadfully ugly child. And a big, fat, handsome pig, I think.
And she began thinking over other children she knew who might do very well as pigs.
If anyone knew the right way to change them. Touching your puss? Did you tell me in such a way I ought to go somewhere?
That depends a good deal on where you want to get to.
I don't much care where.
Then it doesn't matter which way you go.
As long as I get somewhere.
Oh, you're sure to do that, if you only walk long enough. Alice felt that this could not be denied, so she went to try another question. But before she could, she shook the cook's pepper from her dress, and the cat sneezed. Achoo!
What sort of people live about here?
Well, in that direction lives the Mad Hatter, and in that direction lives the March Hare. Visit either if you like. They're both mad.
I don't want to go among mad people.
But you can't help that. We're all mad here. I'm mad. You're mad.
How do you know I'm mad?
You must be. Otherwise you wouldn't have come here.
Well, how do you know you're mad?
Well, you see then, a dog is not mad. You grant that?
I suppose so.
So you see then. A dog growls when it's angry and wags its tail when it's pleased. I growl when I'm angry and wag my tail when I'm pleased. Therefore, I'm mad.
I call it purring, not growling.
Call it what you like. Meanings are deniable. Better, they are malleable.
That sounds crazy.
Exactly. Do you play croquet with the queen today?
I should like it very much. Oh, but I haven't been invited yet.
You'll see me there. The Cheshire Cat began to slowly vanish. Alice stared at the space where it was for a moment, then walked away. Suddenly, it reappeared, this time only with its head. Bye-bye. What became of the baby? I had almost forgotten to ask.
It turned into a pig.
I thought it would. Did you say pig or fig?
I said pig, and I wish you couldn't keep appearing so suddenly. You make one quite giddy.
All right.
Wow. That's the most curious thing I've seen in
covered before she came in sight of the house of the March Hare. She thought it must be the right house, because the chimneys were shaped like ears, and the roof was thatched with fir. It was a large house, and there was a table set out under a tree in front of it, and the March Hare and the Hatter were having tea. A dormouse was sitting between them, fast asleep, and the other two were using the dormouse as entertainment.
Very uncomfortable for the dormouse, I should think. Only as it's asleep, I suppose it doesn't mind. No room! There's plenty of room. How sublime. I didn't see anyone. There was a table. Well, then it wasn't very civil of you to offer it. It wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited. I didn't know it was your table. It's like for a great many more than three.
Your hair wants cutting.
You should learn not to make personal remarks. It's very rude.
Why is it raven? Like a writing desk.
Come now we shall have some fun. I'm glad you began asking riddles. I believe I can guess that. Do you mean you believe you can find out the answer to it? Exactly so. Then you should say what you mean. I do. At least I mean what I said. Because it's the same thing, you know.
Not the same thing a bit. Why, you might as well just say that I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see.
You might as well just say that I like what I get is the same as I get what I love.
You might as well say that I breathe when I sleep is the same as I sleep when I breathe. It is the same thing with you. What day of the month is it?
The 4th.
2 days wrong. I told you the butter wouldn't suit the works.
It was the best butter.
Yes, but the breadcrumbs must have gotten in it as well. You should have put it in with the bread knife.
It was the best butter. What a funny watch. It tells the day of the month and doesn't tell what o'clock it is?
Why should it? Does your watch tell you what year it is?
No, but that's because it stays the same year for such a long time together. Does it?
This one. I wish I had the watch with the year on it. Being friends with you is so confounding.
Why confounding? The Hatter lives in the future. I live in the past.
It's infuriating. All this one does is pine over her lost love, Cecilia.
Doesn't speak her name.
Caught in a hunter's trap. A stew made of her bow.
Dreadful. Well, I can hardly understand a single thing this one speaks of because he lives in the future.
1983 to be precise.
Oh my.
This is a Walkman. It plays music recorded into a small plastic tank.
Plastic? I know. It doesn't make a bit of sense. Ask her about movies. It's confoundingly amazing.
It's all too much.
The Rolling Stone.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Oh, my Cecilia.
Oh, boy.
And there was always Josephine.
Again.
She ran out on me. But that rabbit! Not my turn! I don't quite understand you.
Welcome to the club. Oh, the door is asleep again.
Don't saw my hands off!
Have you guessed the riddle yet?
No, I give up. What's the answer?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Nor have I. I think you would do something better with the time than wasting it and asking riddles that have no answer.
If you knew time as well as I do, you wouldn't talk of wasting it. It's him.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you don't. I dare say you've never even spoken to time.
Well, perhaps not. But I know I have to beat time when I learn music.
Ah, that accounts for it. He won't stand being beaten. Now, if you only kept on good terms with him, he'd do almost anything you'd like with the clock. For instance, say it was 9 o'clock in the morning, just time to begin lesson. You'd only have to whisper him to time, and around moves the clock in the twinkling, and 1:30, time for dinner!
I only wish it was. That would be grand, certainly. Well, but then I shouldn't be hungry for it, you know?
Not at first, perhaps, but suppose you could keep it to 1:30 for as long as you liked.
Oh, is that the way you manage?
Not I. We quarreled last March, just before
for me in the past.
At least we're in the same time zone. If not, we'd hardly see each other.
What's a time zone?
Never mind.
Is that why so many tea things are laid out here?
Exactly so. It's always tea time here, and we have no time to wash things in between the whiles.
So you keep moving around, I suppose.
Exactly so, as the things get used up.
Well, what happens when you come to the beginning again? Suppose we change the subject. I'm getting tired of this. I vote the young lady tells us a story. Oh, I'm afraid I don't know one. And the dormouse shall.
Wait, the dormouse!
I didn't kill anyone! Tell us a story. Yes, please do.
And be quick about it, or you'll be asleep again before it's done.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little sisters, and their names were Elsie, Lacey, and Tilly. And they lived at the bottom of a well.
What they live on?
They lived on molasses.
Well, they couldn't have done that, you know. Well, they'd have been ill.
So they were. Very ill.
Well, then why do they live at the bottom of a well? Take some more tea. I've had nothing yet, so I can't take more.
You mean you can't take any less? It's very easy to take more than nothing.
Nobody asked your opinion.
Who's making personal remarks now?
Alice did not quite know what to say to this, so she helped herself to some tea and bread and butter, and then turned to the dormouse and repeated her question.
Why do you live at the bottom of a well?
It was a molasses
Well,
well.
there's no such thing.
It's hot! I'm taking crazy pills!
That's
And you can't be civil! You better finish the story for yourself!
No. Oh, please go on. I dare say there may be one.
What indeed? And so these 3 little sisters, they were learning to draw you.
What they draw.
Molasses.
I want a clean cup. Let's all move one place on.
The Mad Hatter moved on as he spoke, and the Dormouse followed him. The March Hare moved to the Dormouse's place, and Alice, rather unwillingly, took the place of the March Hare. The Hatter was the only one who had any advantage from the change, for he never liked anyone on his right.
But I don't understand. Why do you live at the bottom of a well? Well, what do they live on?
Well, they were in the well. And they were learning to draw. And they drew all manner of things. Anything that begins with an M.
Why with an M? Why not Turner?
Oh, anyone that begins with an M, such as mousetraps, the moon, memory, and muchness. You know you say things are much of a muchness? Did you ever see such a thing as a drawing of muchness?
Really? Now you ask me? I don't think that.
Then you shouldn't talk.
Alice got up in disgust and walked off. The Dormouse fell asleep instantly, and neither of the others took the least notice of her going, though she looked back once or twice, half hoping that they would call after her. The last time she saw them, they were trying to put the Dormouse into a teapot.
Wow. It's the stupidest tea party I've been at all my life. At any rate, I'll never go there again.
Just as she said this, she noticed a door that had come out of nowhere, right in the middle of the path.
Well, that's very curious. But everyone's curious today.
Once more, she found herself in a long hall, and close to the little table.
No, I'll manage better this time.
Instantly, Alice found herself at last in a beautiful garden, among the bright flower beds and the cool fountains. A large rose tree stood near the entrance of the garden. The roses growing on it were white, but there were 3 gardeners at it, busily painting them red.
Look out now, 5. You quit splashing paint over me like that.
I couldn't help it. 7 dropped my elbow. That's right, 5. Always like to blame on others. You better not talk. I heard the queen say only yesterday you deserve to be beheaded.
What for?
That's really none of your business, too.
Oh, yes, it is his business, and I'll tell him. It was for me to cook 2 leopards instead of onions.
That's it, 5. I just had enough. Would you tell me, please, why you're painting these roses?
Well, you see, thing is, this year I'll take down a red rose tree, and we put a white one in by mistake.
And if the queen was to ever find out, we should all have our heads cut off, you know.
So you see, miss, we're just doing her best before she comes to... Oh, crap.
What is it?
The
Queen.
sentence of execution.
What for?
Did you say what a pity?
No, I didn't. I don't think it's all a pity. I said, what for?
She boxed the queen's ears. Oh, hush, the queen was reading. You see, she was rather late, and then the queen said,
Get to your places!
Everyone began running to their places for the hay. The people began moving about in all directions, doubling up against each other. However, they all got settled down in a minute or two, and the game began. Alice had never seen such a curious croquet ground in her life. It was all ridges and furrows. The croquet balls were live hedgehogs, and the mallets were live flamingos. The soldiers had to double themselves up and stand on their hands and feet to make the arches.
What would become of me? I'm very fond of beheading people here, so I wondered if anyone left alive.
She was looking about for some way to escape and wondering whether she could get away without being seen when she noticed a curious appearance in the air.
It's a sister cat. Now I have someone to talk to.
How are you getting on?
I don't think they play it all fairly. They don't seem to have any rules in particular. And if they do, no one seems to follow them.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's so confusing, all these things being alive. Look, I was croqueting the queen's hedgehog just now, so they're talking to mine.
How do you like the queen?
Oh, not at all. She is so extremely likely to win. It's harder than a wild losing the game.
Who are you talking to?
It's a sister cat. Allow me to introduce it.
I don't like the look of it. But it may kiss my hand if it likes.
I'd rather not.
Don't be impertinent. They don't look at me like that.
Like what?
Like that.
A cat can look at a king. I read that in a book. I don't remember where.
Well, it must be removed. My dear, I wish you would have this cat removed.
Off in his head.
I'll fetch the executioner myself.
Alice walked over to her hedgehog, which was fighting with another hedgehog. They were in deep conversation, so she could only wait.